country for tomorrow.
Yes, this appearance, it was as if they caught her in a glue trap at Saks Fifth Avenue and dragged her there.
It's not acceptable. And I was surprised because that is not the man that I know.
It has finally occurred. Not the Apprentice's second coming, something much juicier. Donald Trump's marriage, yes, the one with Melania, who usually appears to be mentally teleporting out of frame, has become the biggest national comedy special since 4 seasons total landscaping. It all began with a simple wave, standing tallish in his big suit, still not buttoning the second button. Legend. Trump turned to welcome the throng at Mar-a-Lago. Cameras clicked. Flash lamps went off. What about Melania? She moved to the side and offered him a strained smile that could have passed for a hostage film. People zoomed in frame by frame, as if it were the Zapruder film. Twitter, TikTok, and every meme lord on the planet pounced. This marriage has the emotional intimacy of a DMV waiting room. One viral tweet read,
As you can see, their table was roped off, but it's unclear if that was to keep people away or to prevent her from fleeing.
It didn't help that Trump had just given a speech in which he unintentionally referred to Melania as Ivanka. Twice. The second time he rectified himself by stating, Sorry Melania, I meant my wife. Beautiful woman, very beautiful, everyone says so. Everyone. Don? Everyone? Even Melania. Cue the cut to her face. Blank. Like a Windows XP problem screen. Of course, the late night shows were unable to resist. Jimmy Kimmel described it as the most awkward marriage this side of Prince Charles and a houseplant. Stephen Colbert displayed a cardboard cutout of Melania next to a wax version of Trump saying, Spot the difference. One appears cold and distant. The other is wax. Things moved swiftly. A video emerged from behind the scenes at a donor dinner. Trump reached out and grabbed Melania's hand. She pretended to adjust her hair with excellent skill and the reflexes of a seasoned ninja.
The thing that got an enormous amount of media attention had to do with Melania Trump, the First Lady, and some video. Was this an actual slap?
He reached again. She grabbed up a fork. He reached for the third time. She took a salt shaker and made intense eye contact with it, as if it were a more engaging conversational partner. Social media went crazy. The hashtag #SaltBayMelania trended. Someone even began an online petition to have Trump replaced with the salt shaker as her official escort. Then came the hug. Ah, that hug. During a rally, Trump attempted to pull her in for a passionate embrace. Melania stepped back, like if he were carrying a live ferret. She grinned, rubbed his shoulder as if he had just fixed a leaking pipe, and turned to wave to the throng. The internet declared the marriage as officially sponsored by IKEA, some assembly required, zero emotional support included.
Country for tomorrow.
Yes, this appearance, it was as if they caught her in a glue trap at Saks Fifth Avenue and dragged her there.
People began searching for videos of them strolling together in which he swats his hand away like it was a fly. Someone created a supercut. It was set to Celine Dion's All By Myself. YouTube couldn't keep up with the number of views. Of course, Trump attempted damage control. We have a wonderful marriage. Wonderful marriage. Melania adores me. She tells me all the time, whispering it. Very quiet. Very loving. You wouldn't believe how loving I am. And America reacted collectively. We really, really would not believe it. A reporter asked Melania at a charity event if she had any thoughts on the claims. What was her reply? A single raised brow, a tight smile, and a 7-second hush reverberated across the internet like a diplomatic message from a king who has seen too much. Saturday Night Live had a field day. The Melania impersonator performed a spoof of Escape, the Piña Colada song. If you like golfing with strangers and pretending you're fine, if you're not into holding his orange fake hand all the time. Meanwhile, relationship experts began examining each contact like body language archaeologists. A therapist tweeted, "I've seen more chemistry between a tax audit and the taxpayer." During a rally, Trump joked, "Melania and I, fantastic marriage." This was the height of foolishness. She chuckles at all of my jokes. Melania, standing alongside him, was as immobile as a statue in a wax museum following a power outage.
Reports say that Melania has been so reluctant to re-enter public life that the former president had to beg her to be seen in public with him.
The crowd laughed. Trump laughed. Melania blinked. Once, slowly. News sites began carrying pieces titled, "A Timeline of the Trump Marriage in Awkward Gestures." Melania's top 10 swerves. Hand-holding. A tragic love story. Even Fox News began to seem uneasy. Sean Hannity attempted to defend them, stating, "You can't judge a marriage based on public appearances." Someone responded, "So what are we supposed to use? Telepathy?" Then came the book. Oh, absolutely. A former staff member published a memoir titled Serving Ice: My Years Observing the Coldest Marriage in Politics. The chapter titles were The Bedroom Door is Always Closed. Her Smile Says Help in When a Hug Feels Like a Tactical Maneuver.
It's not acceptable. And I was surprised because that is not the man that I know.
Barron too began to shun family excursions. When asked if he'd attend a gala, he supposedly said, "I'd rather read War and Peace," twice. But here's a twist. The more awkward the marriage appeared, the more people grew obsessed. They watched every appearance as if it were a reality show. Will she hold his hand today? Will he remember her name? Will she bring the salt shaker again? Conspiracy theories have surfaced. Some said Melania had been replaced by a clone called Melandroid. Others thought she was communicating coded communications via her headgear, similar to Morse code. Wide-brimmed equals blink twice for help. Historians at the White House archives supposedly began labeling their public performances as performance art. A Smithsonian curator advocated conserving the controversial hand-swat video as a national artifact, alongside the Declaration of Independence. By now, the marriage is more than just a meme. It is a movement. College students use WWMD bracelets. What would Melania do? Usually the answer is not to make eye contact. Meanwhile, Trump is undeterred.
I have a wonderful wife who has to listen to this stuff all the time. They do that for this reason. They do that, all these salacious names.
They're jealous, he explained in a recent interview. "I'm jealous of how loved I am. Melania tells me every morning. There is tremendous affection." Melania, in a different interview, only nodded, silently, stone-faced. Her spokeswoman later explained that she had a sore jaw. The nation remains captivated. People no longer care about politics. Instead, they tune in for the relationship drama. CNN introduced a new section called Marital Union Breakdown Tracker, MUBT. MSNBC followed up with Melania Watch 24/7. Netflix is said to be in talks to make a docudrama called The Art of the Swerve. And probably the most symbolic moment occurred during a charity ball. As cameras clicked and visitors chatted, Trump reached for her hand again. This time she reached back. America held its breath. Then she turned smoothly, using that hand to fix her clutch purse. "Not now, Don. Not today." As a result, the Trump marriage has moved beyond traditional definitions. It is no longer a union. It's a fully developed comedic franchise. A tragicomic ballet of missed connections, clumsy gestures, and enough meme content to keep the internet going for years.
Being on the jury must have led to hard feelings between you and your husband.
Oh, please, Stephen. I haven't felt anything hard between us for years.
Melania is not now, or hasn't recently taken part in her husband's political events. It's not comfortable for her.
So, is this love? Is it theatre? Or are only two persons contractually committed to appear together till the next election? One thing is certain, the Trump marriage is no longer a partnership. It is a national farce, and we're all watching with popcorn in hand.